Hi kids, how are you? It's Miss Osta over here, and for today's social studies class, you are going to be watching the film The Grinch, or you should have. So if you go to the virtual classroom, you'll find the cover for the 1968, I believe that's the when the movie was released, but it's the original Grinch movie by Dr. Seuss. So first, go ahead and watch that. Now, you will get the video that is pretty small, but if you go in the controls for the video, they should allow you to expand so that it will take your entire screen so that you can see it in your entire screen. So the movie is there for you. Just click it and it will automatically take you to the movie. And then once you're done with the movie, exit out of there, go back to the virtual classroom, and you should be watching me. So if you're in this step, you're good. But first watch the movie and then do this part. So for the activity, you should have this in your packet. It looks like this, okay? You should have a black piece of paper, the green one, which is the Grinch, a writing piece, a red pointy rectangle, a green heart, a pink heart, and a little everything else. Little packet full of things, okay? So that's what you're going to need for the activity. I'm just going over it in case you split up the pieces and now you're like, I don't know where that goes. It's for this activity, okay? Now in terms of materials, you will need scissors, pencil, your black marker, and your glue, okay? So this should be a pretty easy activity, but do remember to watch the movie first. And yeah, I hope you have fun doing the activity, and let's get to it. Alrighty, so the first thing we are going to do is take your black paper and put this one somewhere else. This is going to be where we're going to glue all the pieces once we have them cut out. So put this one away, that way you don't cut it by accident. Okay, and let's start cutting all of our pieces. So you should have a pink heart. So go ahead and cut that one out. Oops. Okay. So cut out your pink heart. Remember, your cutting hand stays still and your holding hand is the one that's moving. Okay, put your trash somewhere else. And we have the hat. Go ahead and cut these lines. This should be pretty easy. Now you might have noticed that on this side there's you know, it looks a little darker, and on the back side it's this pretty red. We're actually going to use it on the back side where we have the pretty pink, or not pink, the pretty red side, so that we don't get this discoloration. Okay, so flip it over. We're going to use the pretty red side. I'm going to cut out the outside of the white paper, trim it down. Trim means make smaller, right? Make it smaller, trim it. Oops. Okay, there you go. Again, put all of your trash pieces on a different side. Here we have the light green heart. Okay. So go ahead and finish cutting that. And then the last thing we have to cut is the Grinch itself. So you might notice that here he has a bit of a, you know, like hair, because the Grinch has hair. I just like to move the paper around to give it that texture. You don't have to, that's just an idea. So if you put it there, you can kind of go like this. Up, in, out, and then you get a bit of that texture. You don't have to, you can just cut it straight if you want to. Okay. Okay, go ahead and finish cutting your face. Okay. The extra paper was getting in my way, so I just cut it off. Alrighty, now remember we clean as we go, so I'm going to take all of my trash now. I'm done cutting, and I'm going to throw that away, make it into a ball. There you go, that goes in the trash. Okay, so now let's look at the pieces we have. We have the body of the Grinch, the heart, well, one heart, we have two, a hat or a pointy triangle, and a little pocket full of stuff. Okay, so open it. In here you should have like a squiggly snowball kind of. 3 white circles. If you're missing one, you can just cut out an extra one, but I'm pretty sure I gave everybody 3. And then you should have 2 yellow eyes. Okay, so let's start putting this together. It's actually pretty easy to do. So take out your black paper now. Okay, and you will need your glue. So the first thing we're going to do is attach or glue on the head to the body. So attach means to put together. Okay, so we're going to put it together or glue it by adding a little bit of glue to the top of the body. So I'm taking the body, adding, you know, a dollop, a good circle, a smear of glue, and I'm going to add the head on top of that. Make sure you press it down so that it stays on there and you know that it's glued together. Okay, like that. Now the next step is going to be to glue Mr. Grinch to the black paper. But here's the trick. We need to leave some room on the bottom because we're going to attach our writing rubric. So what we need to do is we need to make sure that the head of Mr. Grinch is almost touching the top of the paper. So turn over the Grinch. Let's add some glue on the outline or on the outside of the Grinch. I like to go in a little bit to make sure everything's covered. And I'm going to move it before I press it down. I'm holding it. You see how I'm holding it? I'm going to hold it there and kind of find the top. Once I feel that it's touching the top, then I'm going to lay it down, put my hand inside and kind of wiggle it. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And then stretch it out. Okay, if I feel that anything's sticking out, put a little bit more glue. And there's Mr. Grinch. He's attached to my paper, glued on my paper. Okay? Again, if I'm going too fast, you can always stop the video and go back. Now let's add the heart. Now we need to put the small heart inside the big one. So let's glue those first. Put some glue on the pink heart and add that to the center of the light green heart. Okay, so once you have these two, we're going to add some glue to the right side of Mr. Grinch, our left, his right, this side basically, and we're going to put his heart there. The reason why we put it there is because we have our heart here on the right side, okay, on our right side. I think that looks a little better. Okay, now next part, we need the eyes. So those are the yellow pieces. They kind of look like footballs. So take those out, add a little bit of glue, and we're going to add those underneath his eyebrows. Not his eyebrows, his eyelashes. Okay, there you go. And then in the original movie, he kind of has like cat eyes, which is just 2 sticks. Like that. So there's his face. Now for the hat, we add the red part first, add a little bit of glue to the top of his head. Okay. And press it down. And then you see how tall it is? We don't want it to be this tall. So we're actually going to take the tip and we're going to fold it in to the side like that. It's okay if you need to press it a bit. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of glue on top of that. And I'm going to take the snowball and glue it on top. And that's going to make sure that our hat stays folded. Do you see how it's folded? Okay, and it stays on there like that. Okay, the last step for this craft is going to be to add the fluff to the hat. So we have the 3 circles. We're just going to put them on the edge of his Santa hat, like that. And there's our Grinch. Now, for the writing, it says, to make the Grinch grin, grin is another word for smile. Okay, ignore my dog. So to make the Grinch grin or smile, what would you do? What do you do when you want somebody to smile at you? Will you say something nice? Would you tickle them? What would you do? Tell them a joke? I don't know, give them a hug? What would you do? I would give them a hug. Give them, or give him, we're talking about the Grinch, sorry. Give him a hug. Now for this part, you can tell your parents your sentence and they can write it in for you, or you can have them write it to you for you with your yellow or your orange marker, and you can trace over it. So it's up to you. If you want to try it by yourself, you can ask your parents to write it somewhere else and you can copy, or you can trace it, or you can have them do it for you. Okay? Because we're writing a long sentence, that's why I'm letting them do it for you. Now the last thing we're going to do is add this piece of paper to our Grinch. So put a little bit of glue on the bottom and add your paper. And that is your Grinch craft for today. So what would you do to make Mr. Grinch smile? Will you give him a hug? Maybe give him a cool toy? Maybe that will make him smile, right? I don't know. What do you think would make him smile? What made him smile in the movie? Think about it and then come up with your own idea. Alrighty kids, I'll see you later in art as well as science. Have fun. Bye-bye.